Welcome to today's session. This is Shweta Roy, your English master teacher at Vedantu, and I give you all of you a warm welcome to today's amazing session, which is on the most awaited poem, Fire and Ice, and that is from your NCERT class 10. So I got a lot of comments from you all. Ma'am, fire and ice, ma'am, fire and ice. So here we are, the very first session on fire and ice, and I hope you all will enjoy today's poem as much as you do. So let's move ahead with today's wonderful session. So another reminder, guys, this exam season, how to boost your scores? We are there for your rescue with micro courses at flat rupee 1. So we have 2000 plus topic wise courses. Hurry up and buy now. This is for grade 6 to 12, ICSE, CBSE, and also for competitive exams like JEE and NEET. So what are you waiting for, guys? Hurry up and just buy the micro courses. And yes, also do not forget to register for VSAT 2020 and get assured scholarship. And you all already have started, I guess. You have started, right? We learn English. Yes, so do subscribe to this channel and learn English. You can, I know you find it quite difficult to cope up with some of the portions, like suppose you are waiting for your job interview, or suppose you have you aspire to be a great public speaker, or you want to learn English to improve your communication skills. So this is the platform for you guys. So yes, hurry up and do subscribe to this channel. So yes, we are here now. We are going to have an analysis of this poem, Fire and Ice, which is by the most famous poet, Robert Frost. So we have already done one poem by Robert Frost, that was Dust of Snow, if you have remembered. And that was a deep philosophical poem, although it looked very short, only had 8 lines. Similarly, Fire and Ice is also a very short poem, but with deep meaning. So we need to unravel that depth and get into the deepest, most possible layer in order to get what the message is conveyed, right? So whatever the message is conveyed, that we need to not only understand, but also to apply in our day-to-day life. That is what I keep telling you in all my sessions, right? So let's see what we are going to learn in today's session and what are we going to take back and apply in our day-to-day life from this poem that we are going to deal with right now. So I am also going to read out the poem to you so that you could relate it very well, and there is absolutely no confusion, zero confusion, and 100% clarity. That is guaranteed. So before moving on to the poem, let's study a little bit about the poet. Robert Frost, he was a great American poet. He's known for his realistic depiction of rural life and his command over American colloquial speech. Frost frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England and in early 20th century. So he's a modern poet, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes, which we already studied in Dust of Snow, how he used simple nature, simple elements of nature, and the poem was so deep and so philosophical. Similar is the case with Fire and Ice, and we will see how. He is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. And now we are going to move ahead with the poem. But yes, I would definitely like to start the session with a beautiful quote and a very meaningful and quite relatable to the poem that we are going to read right now. So the quote says, "Do not allow negative feelings and emotions to control your mind. Emotional harm does not come from others. it is conceived and developed within ourselves. So we should never allow negative feelings and emotions to take control over our mind, because we should think of it that emotional harm is not that which comes from others, right? This is conceived and developed from within ourselves. That means it is we who are producing this negative feelings, who are conceiving this negative feelings, and which are not only conceiving it but also nourishing it and developing it within ourselves. So that does a lot of harm. And how? Let us see with the poem. Let us move deeper into the poem. Just remember this quote and we will be back again to this quote while we start analyzing the poem. So now let us have a quick introduction to the poem. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by fire or by ice. So as I keep telling you that whenever we read a poem, we should not only go to the surface level, but we should dive below that, right? So we should explore the underneath layers. So not only literal meaning should be taken care of, but we need to have the deeper layer, the symbolic meaning of the poem. And that is what we are going to do with this as well. So now he said that the world is going to be destroyed by fire or by ice. So again, he has taken elements from nature just like he did for the other poem, right? But fire and ice again does not mean the literal fire and the literal ice. It also means something very symbolic, and that symbolic meaning gives it a philosophical depth that we need to understand. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, hatred and desire, right? The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if we don't control them, they would surely destroy everything around us, right? Similarly, he thinks that fire and ice both are just components in bringing both are competent in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. So that is what he thinks, that the world can be destroyed how? Either by fire or by ice, right? Now, what is fire and what is ice? That we will see when we move into the poem. That is not simply the literal meaning, of course. So either it is developed by, either it is destroyed by hatred or it can be destroyed by limitless desire. Okay, these are the two reasons that would lead to the catastrophic end of the world. तो यही है वो दो रीजन, यही है वो दो कारण जिससे दुनिया जो है वो खत्म हो जाएगी. क्या है वो दो कारण? एक है hatred, hatred is नफरत, और दूसरा है desire. Desire means want, limitless want. We have no ends to our want. एक चीज पसंद आया, ले लिया, उससे मन भर गया, then we crave for the next one. So this limitless desire would definitely lead to the end of the world, right? So now let us move ahead with the poem and let's have an analysis of the poem. But before starting the analysis, let me read out the short but deep poem. Read it out loud to you, and do keep the poem with you and read it out loud along with me. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice, it is also great and would suffice. Now let us see what do we get out of this poem. Now the very first stanza says, it expresses the profound idea that the world would end either in two ways, fire or ice. मतलब world जो है वो दो कारणों के लिए खत्म हो सकता है, एक fire के लिए, दूसरा है ice के लिए. Now, as I told you that fire does not only mean the literal fire, it means something beyond that, right? Now, what is this fire and what is this ice? This we would know. One group of the opinion says that someday the earth will get so heated up that it would lead to the fire destroying the earth's surface. So according to some people, some say that the world will end in fire. That means earth's core would be so heated up, इसमें इतना ज़्यादा fire होगा that it would completely destroy the earth's surface. Now what is this fire? This is anger, okay? This is hatred. So all these negative feelings, so this fire is not just the literal fire, it is something more than that. So this hatred, this anger, this jealousy, so hatred leads to all these emotions, right? अगर हम किसी से नफरत करते हैं तभी तो हमें उससे उस पे गुस्सा आता है, and then we get jealous of that person. So अगर हम नफरत है, हमें नफरत है, so this hatred leads to so many negative emotions, right? So that would definitely lead to the end of the world. On the other hand, the second opinion, what does it say? That if the temperature goes down to such an extent that would make the life on earth impossible, then also it would lead to the catastrophic effect. Okay, that means अगर ये एक तो दुनिया अगर बहुत ज़्यादा तपने लगे, गर्म होने लगे, तो दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी, और अगर दुनिया बहुत ज़्यादा ठंडी पड़ जाए तो भी दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगी. So if earth is very much heated up, then it will lead to the destruction of the world. If the temperature goes too low, then also it would not be fit for survival, right? Now again, this has a symbolic meaning. Fire suggests hatred, and the other one, ice suggests what? Ice suggests limitless desire, right? So the poet compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions, desire and hatred. He says that from what he is aware about fiery desires, he would favor the ones who said that it would be fire, right? So that means he says that I prefer, मैं उन लोगों के साथ हूँ जो कहते हैं that the earth is going to be destroyed by fire, right? From what I have tasted of desire, that means the poet has experienced that desire leads to the end of the world. तो poet ने ये experience किया है कि desire से दुनिया जो है वो खत्म हो सकती है. So that is why he holds with those who favor fire. Holds with those who favor fire का मतलब है वो उन लोगों के साथ सहमत है जो कहते हैं कि ये दुनिया जो है वो फायर के लिए खत्म हो जाएगी. That means he is of the same opinion. He actually accepts the opinion of those who says that this earth will be, it will lead to the catastrophic end of this earth. What? Fire. Because he has got experience of these fiery desires. But again, he says that if the earth was supposed to perish twice, मतलब अगर earth दो बार उसको मौका मिले destroy होने का, तो second destruction उसका क्या होगा? Second destruction will be caused by ice. अब ice क्या है? Hatred. Okay? So बहुत ध्यान से इसको याद रखना. Don't be confused. Fire means the fiery desires and ice का मतलब होता है hatred. As I told you, hatred से हमें क्या होता है? गुस्सा आता है, हमें jealousy होती है, right? So that is, and the desire means fiery desire. So when we have desire, we are passionate. ठीक है, हम passion के वजह से क्या होता है? When we are passionate, we have this desire, we have this want. तो हमारे अंदर एक आग सा जलता है. So that is compared with the fire. By saying so, he brings about the idea that human beings let their emotions rule them, and the consequence of unmonitored longing is chaos. So when our longing is unmonitored, it becomes limitless. When we rule the emotions, till then it is clear. बहुत ध्यान से सुनना बच्चों इसको. जब हम अपने emotions पे control करते हैं, जब हम अपने emotion को control करते हैं, then it becomes okay. ठीक है? Desire रखना is fine so long as you are controlling your desire. But the moment desire starts to control you, then it becomes limitless, then it becomes unmonitored. फिर आप उसको मॉनिटर नहीं करते हो, वो आपको मॉनिटर करने लगता है, और जैसे ही वो आपको मॉनिटर करने लगेगा तभी आपका सब कुछ खत्म हो सकता है. There are chances of probability. Now let me cite 2 or 3 examples of this. First of all, see, human civilization. What is this? Now, we always try to, we are never satisfied or contented with whatever we have, right? We always want something more. And this wanting of something more always is gradually leading to the exploitation when we are exploiting nature, right? Greed leads to what? Greed leads to the end. Greed leads to the catastrophic end. So you can see over here, current situation kya hai? Current situation is also directly or indirectly very much associated with human greed, right? So this is again a poem which is quite relevant in today's context. So it is because of human greed that we have today reached to such a position that you are quite aware that what is happening around you, right? Earth's magnetic field जो है वो कम होते जा रहा है, right? Global warming, ये सब क्या है? These are the results of human greed gone wrong, right? Unmonitored greed, uncontrolled greed. So when we are constantly wanting, we are cutting down trees, deforestation, direct result of human limitless want. We are exploiting nature, ozone layer depletion, global warming, Earth's magnetic field lessening, sab kuch, these are all the results and the consequences of unlimited and uncontrolled human desire. So that would definitely lead to the end of the world. आप देख ही रहे हो, already we are suffering, right? Almost on the verge, we can say, right? So that is what the poet is saying. Now we come to the second stanza. By not waving off the first opinion of fire, he considers if the world has to expire twice, ice would be equally competent in ending it. So he brings about a contrast. So then he says that if the world is going to end twice, अगर 2 बार उसको end होना हो, तो पहले तो वो fire से खत्म हो जाएगा. If again it survives, then it will end because of ice, because of hatred, right? So because of our hatred. Now, if we hate each other, उससे क्या होगा? अगर हम एक दूसरे से नफरत करेंगे, तो हमें then we will be angry at each other, and this anger will produce war, है ना? तो war से क्या होगा? War will definitely lead to destruction, right? So we have experienced so many wars, and thousands of killings have already taken place. And you are seeing what is happening all around you. So these are again the result of uncontrolled emotions, right? Your anger, frustration, hatred, then desire, these are all your negative emotions. If you do not keep them in control, if each one of us do not keep our emotions in control, it will be a collective of emotion, and this collection of emotion will directly lead to negative consequence, and it will result in the catastrophic end of this world. That is what the poet is saying, right? So he brings about a contrast between fire and ice. So just as he brought about a contrast, if you remember Dust of Snow, जो मैंने आपको करवाया था, तो वहाँ पे वो negative images of hemlock tree and crow के साथ positive image of snow का बहुत ही अच्छा contrast किया था उन्होंने. Similarly, here also he brings about a contrast between the image of ice and the image of fire. These are very contrasting. एक ठंडा है, एक बहुत गर्म है. But they are just opposed, right? They are put together in sharp contrast, right? So, and both are although both are very much different from each other, but what is the element, what is common between them? That both can lead to the destruction of the world. So this can be a question that can be asked, that what is the element that is, what are the features that are common? What is the feature, one feature that is common between, fire and ice, although they are quite different from each other? So that is the answer, that both have the capacity to cause destruction of the earth. So the human capability of insensitivity and hatred has the potential for inner destruction. So if we have this insensitivity and hatred, what will happen? जैसे कि आपको याद है मिस्टर व्हाट इज, हाँ, नेल्सन मंडेला. Nelson Mandela आपने पढ़ा है. So Nelson Mandela, what did he say? He said a very powerful line, that those who are oppressing each other, they are also not free, they are also bound. Similarly, यहाँ पे भी वही बात है. अगर हम किसी के लिए नफरत लाते हैं अपने मन में, if we hate someone, we are also not free. So hatred leads to oppression. So root cause क्या है सब चीज का? Oppression, domination. Why did a party, why is a group dominating the other? That is, the root cause is hatred, right? तो whites blacks को क्यों dominate करता था? क्योंकि whites जो है वो blacks को बिल्कुल hate करता था, right? Because of the skin color, they did not even see them, they did not even, consider them as human beings. So that is why they hated the blacks. So root cause of everything is what? Of all kinds of, domination, subjugation, then jealousy. All this is what? Hatred. So root cause जो है वो hatred है, जो responsible है हर तरह के destruction का, right? And that would lead to destruction, right? So if we are hating someone, then we are also not free. Constantly हमारे दिमाग में ये चल रहा है, we are not feeling good from inside, right? When we love someone, love is a feeling that makes us feel so good, makes us feel contented, gives us fulfillment in life, right? But hatred is something which always creates, some kind of negativity in us. And if we are surrounded with a negative aura, then that would definitely lead to our self-destruction. And we will be completely destroyed from within if we nurture the feelings of hatred, right? And of course, limitless desire. Limitless desire, as I told you, जब आपका desire जो है वो आपको control करने लगेगा, then you will start to take part in various incorrect activities. For example, very simple example, एक चीज मैं आपको बताती हूँ जिससे आपको बिल्कुल clear हो जाएगा. आपका desire है, you have a desire. If you have read Macbeth, if you have read Macbeth, now what was Macbeth's desire? Macbeth's desire was to become the king, ठीक है? But king कौन था? King था वहां पे Duncan. If you have read the play, in case you don't, if you haven't, no problem, मैं आपको बताती हूँ. Macbeth था general, ठीक है? अब उसका desire था king बनने का, ठीक है? King already कोई था, right? So now अगर उसका desire था king बनने का, वो that was very fine, completely perfect. So he could have worked hard to gain that position, right? But उसने क्या किया? उसका ये desire जो है उसके control से निकल गया. अगर वो उसके कंट्रोल में रहता तो वो उसके लिए काम करता और वो धीरे धीरे एक टाइम आता जब वो अपना he could have proven his ability and then he could have been made the king. But what did he do? His desire was not in his control. So he had this uncontrolled desire. So please try to understand the difference between ambition and uncontrolled desire. There is a huge gap between that. तो अब वो एम्बिशन जो है वो गलत रास्ते पे चला गया क्योंकि वो अब उसके कंट्रोल में नहीं था. गलत रास्ते पे कैसे गया? When he murdered King Duncan to become the king. So in that way, when your desire starts to control you, कि अब मुझे ये करना है, and your desire is not within your control, then what you do is you take the shortcut method to follow to achieve that position. So this applying of shortcut method to achieve that position will destroy you. And finally, what happened with Macbeth at the end, when he realized it, that realization which makes him, a tragic hero, that is, that gives a very powerful message of saying that ambition is very good so long as so long as you control it, but it leads to disaster, a complete disaster, the moment when it starts to control you. So there is no shortcut in life, right? तो ये जो लिमिटलेस डिजायर है, ये आपको मजबूर करता है कि आप शॉर्टकट लो लाइफ में, and then it destroys you. So that is what the poet is constantly, that is the inner meaning of the poet, and that is a great philosophical meaning of this poet. So though slow and steady, it has the same effect that desire has on us. What? Hatred. So hatred and desire का same effect है, both lead to destruction. So if given an option between fire and ice, ice would be as good as fire to destroy the world. So therefore he says that both fire and ice lead to the destruction of the world. So ये था आपका poem. I hope you have enjoyed the poem and you have got into the, I think I have been able to take you to the depths of the poem, right? To the depth of the poem. So now let us see what are the word meanings that you could find difficult. So I have made your work easy. ये तो आपको करना चाहिए था, to underline the work and find out the meanings. But anyways, I am helping you out in that as well. Desire means a strong feeling of want. कि मुझे ये चाहिए ही चाहिए, right? So if you want, that desire is good. I am not saying that desire is bad. You need to have desire to, move towards the ladder of success. Desire तो बहुत ही essential है. But that should be in a control. You need to control it. ठीक है? Favor is approval or support. Perish means die. मर जाना. Suffice is sufficient or enough. Okay, sufficient is the noun form and suffice is the verb form. Now we move on to the literary devices used in the poem. Now what is the rhyme scheme of the poem? Rhyme scheme is ABA, ABC, BCB. This is the rhyme scheme. Now first is assonance. What is assonance? It is the repetition of the vowel sound in the same word. Now कहाँ पे ये मिलता है हमें? The long sound of O in hold with those who favor fire. So you can see over here, hold those who favor. So O का sound जो है repeat हो रहा है. So repetition of the vowel sound, that is assonance. Alliteration is repetition of a consonant sound at the beginning of two or more closely placed words. Please note this. Repetition of the consonant sound जब beginning में होता है, then that is alliteration. और अगर बीच में होगा, then that becomes consonants. That is different. Please do not confuse that. Okay. So here you can see favor fire. F sound is repeated in the beginning. So that is why that is an alliteration. World will. W sound is repeated in the beginning. That's an alliteration. Imagery. Imagery is what? Imagery is used to make readers perceive things involving their five senses. Imagery वो है जहाँ पे हम अपने five sense organs को use करते हैं and we can feel what the poet is trying to tell us. Some say the world will end in fire. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. So when the poet is saying all these lines, we can as if feel, हमारे सामने एक picture जैसा बन जा रहा है. We can feel with all our senses that the fire is trying to end the world, right? And then ice is also as great as fire when it comes to end the world. Next is anaphora. Now what is anaphora? the repetition of a word or expression at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Some say, जैसे कि एक one or two में, let me read out. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. So some say, दोनों बार repeat हो रहा है, and that is what is anaphora. Okay. Next we have personification. Personification is what? When you give human qualities to inanimate objects. वो होता है personification. So here we have fire and ice, right? They are personified. They are given human qualities, possessing the power to destroy the earth, right? And then we have enjambment. Enjambment क्या है? When it is defined as the thought or clause that does not come or end at a line break, rather it moves to the next line. When we have no punctuation mark, जब punctuation mark हम use नहीं करते हैं, and we continue, there is a continuation of the first line in the next line, तो वो होता है enjambment, and that is what we find over here. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So this line is, there is a continuation of this line into the next, and that is what is an enjambment. Now we will see the message of the poem. Already I have explained my best, like I have tried my best to explain it out to you. I hope you have by now got the message of the poem, but still, in and all, I would again read out the message. It's a metaphor for human feelings of hatred and desire. By now you have understood that fire and ice, metaphor for human desires and hatred. But yes, limitless desire, not desire in a limited way form, but limitless desire. Fire represents burning desires, while ice represents cold hatred. Okay. Actually, you can very well remember in this way. Ice का मतलब क्या है? वो cold होता है. And when we say, जैसे Cold War याद है? Cold War क्यों हुआ था? Because of hatred, rising tension between USA, USSR, right? तो वो था Cold War. So वहाँ से cold का मतलब that also was a result of hatred between two countries, right? So coldness का मतलब ही होता है hatred. Warmth means love. Coldness means hatred, right? So this is how you can definitely come to the, you will never forget what ice means and what fire means, okay? And then it tells us about how we human beings will be the end of our own race if we do not stop controlling these emotions. It describes how desires, feelings of lust and passion lead to, harm ourselves, and how hatred and icy, unsympathetic judgment makes us cold towards everyone, right? So when we have this lust for something, लालच होता है किसी चीज का, then what happens? That obviously harms us. लालच तो हमेशा ही बुरी बला है, right? So whenever we have lust for something, we have uncontrolled passion for something, right? The desires lead to what? Lust and passion. So lust, passion, all are associated with desire, and that leads us to harm ourselves, self-destruction. And hatred and icy, unsympathetic judgment, that makes us cold towards everyone. So we become cold. Feeling of coldness is feeling of hatred. We don't like a particular person. When we start becoming insensitive and start to become, judgmental about that person, start to become unsympathetic towards a person, right? So that leads to coldness. The poet creates a hypothetical situation of the world ending twice. What he means by that is, if something is left to be ruined by the first element of the fire, there is always a second one, that is ice, to finish the rest. मतलब अगर दुनिया खत्म हो रही है फायर से, जो कुछ भी बाकी बचा रहेगा, that will be ended or finished by ice. That means desire will end everything, and then whatever will be left behind will be ended by our hatred, giving rise to multiple other feelings, negative feelings like jealousy and others. The poet leans towards the idea of the world ending in fire that is due to greed and manly thirst for power. Yes. So, he leans towards the idea, that means deep philosophical idea is what? The world ending in fire. That is due to what? Greed. Already you are seeing the consequences of greed, right? And manly thirst for power. So one, someone trying to be, express power over the other. That leads to what? If you have read Chief Seattle's speech, he also said that this westernization is a part of what? Greed. To greed, to greed of modernization, westernization, to become one of the most powerful nations of the world. Now the world, the countries fighting amongst themselves to become the most powerful nation of the world, that is leading to what? That is again leading to destruction, right? That is not leading to anything positive but negative. So that is the thirst for power, which leads to ultimately the downfall, right? Contradicting this, he says that the world can indeed meet its end at the hands of ice as well, because of the amount of hatred that is present in the world. So now we have more hatred than love, right? And that would definitely lead to the end of the world. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video and you have analyzed the deeper meaning of what the poet is trying to say, and also taken back a very powerful message, on your side. From your end, you have also received a very powerful message, and please do apply this in your daily life, in your life as well. As long as you do not apply, as long as you just keep it like that, it doesn't, there is no point of just reading it and writing an answer on it, as long as you do not apply in your life, right? So that is where literature becomes meaningful, when you start applying start getting the messages and start applying your these messages in your life. So this is a very powerful message to all human beings, to control our desire and to control our negative feelings. So I would request all of you, my lovely students there, to self-analyze yourself, because self-analysis is the best analysis. So please do self-analyze yourself, and please do let us share your feelings with us in the comment section, that what do you think, what are the negative emotions that comes up in your mind, in what situation, and from now on what are the steps you will take to to completely wipe away those negative emotions. So what are the negative emotions that come up, and in what situations do they come up, and how are you from now onwards going to control them? Please do comment. And yes, if you have received a positive message from this poem, do hit a like button. And thank you everyone for watching this video. See you all in the next upcoming session with another great poem or great story from your chapter. Thank you so much and take care. Bye bye. See you in the next session.